Hey, hello, tubers. Sorry about the lighting. Oh man, I need some lighting in here. I can't see where all my junk is piled up. Look at this place. I'm gonna actually have to like clean this next week. Should have 4 days off next week, so I think we'll deal with that. So I have a 1356 Borg Warner transfer case here. We're gonna do a little inspection to it. It sounds alright. There's no play on the bearings. Spins real nice. So knowing these and many other transfer cases like it that are chain driven, I'm going to get into this thing and see what we're dealing with as far as the chain goes, which is my biggest concern right now. Is just have, I don't want to put this in the truck and then, oh yeah, we got the four-wheel drive and our axles all in and everything's hooked up and yeah, let's try this out, and then it goes click, 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 click. I want to avoid that. So I want to try and get in here and split the case, and from the looks of it, I think all I really need to do is just get this a little the tail end off. I think there's a C-clip that's holding this holding the shaft to the bearing, or keeping it from going outwards. So I'm gonna have to undo that, and I think we can just pop this out. And I'm hoping to do that without having all the shifter stuff fall out, because I kind of want to carefully and meticulously get this apart without it all coming apart, so I can kind of see how it goes back together. But anyways, I want to get in there and see how what it's going to take to replace the chain, and if it's something I can do here and not have to have this sent to a shop. So yeah, the plan is with this transfer case is I want to replace the chain. I want to replace the oil pump and the pickup tube and the filter. I've seen a whole kit for all that. I want to replace that, and then maybe throw some seals on it. I think I want to get a seal for the front here and possibly replace this seal here. Well, I'm gonna get this thing on the charger, my camera that I'm talking about. I'm gonna get some lights set up and get some tools and some gloves, and then maybe set this up on a wood platform that I put together and kind of try and take the first half off and see how that chain looks. Now I also want to see what the inside looks like too. The other thing I noticed is whoever last drained it, when they removed it, they forgot the drain plug. So I think this plug over here is the same size as this. Actually, I'm not even going to bother removing that. Where do you fill this thing up at? It just occurred to me. Where do you fill it up at? Like, oh my god. Okay. Well, anyways, that's interesting. Where the hell do you fill it up at? So anyways, we'll have to hunt down that. And then, I bet you because it's at an angle, that's the fill plug, and you only fill it up a certain amount, just enough for the chain to drag and the oil pump to lift it up. Okay, give me a few minutes. So we're not going to do a complete tear down, but I'm just going to get to what I think is necessary as far as refurbishing. So I actually think these are a T55. Actually, maybe a T50 is good. I'm using a T50 Torx. And we're going to have to RTV this thing back together, unfortunately. I'm going to get a new seal for this. This is the same seal that probably would fit my MP435, but I can't find one for it. I don't know why. Super annoying. And this thing has its original tag, so we're going to want to throw this back on. I'm going to straighten it out. Or I'll leave it as is and I'll straighten it out just for looks later. And also with this not having a drain plug, I want to make sure there's no spiders in it or, you know, stupid stuff like that. No spider nests, none of that. Hey there. So I finally figured out what these were. Someone mentioned, I forgot who it was. Oh, it was in an Eric the Car Guy video.
This little piece here, that's all dried rubber, doesn't need to go back in. And a lot of people put these in, they don't know what they are. This is simply a plug that goes in here. Normally it sits in here like this and seals the shaft against the bushing inside here. Mm-hmm. And what that is for is basically when they built these transmissions from the factory, they had oil in them. Mm-hmm. And they could ship them with the oil. So that's what this plug is there for. So you can put it back in.
So it's just there for when you don't have the drive shaft in place?
Right.
It helps.
And what happens is when the drive shaft goes in, it pushes the plug in and it ends up over here.
I have a container that I put these bolts in. I'm probably going to put them in that. I want them soaked in alcohol, or actually I'll let them soak in gasoline. This is kind of like a Jimmy's Mechanic vlog type of thing. Just doing an inspection. But later in the series, when we go to replace the chain, the oil pump and all that stuff, that will be part of the Overland project video that we're doing. Or that I'm doing. I don't know. Actually, you guys are kind of a part of it because two of you have donated stuff to it, so...
Actually... 4 people.
Part of it.
4 people have donated stuff. I was way wrong.
So I appreciate that. That's been nice. Never thought I would get to that point. So the tail shaft and case bolts, they are all the same. So I got this as a part of a axle tray because we put a Ford. When I bought my D44 for my 4-wheel drive project. I got a Ford 9-inch with it, and so we cleaned up the Ford 9-inch, did the brakes on it, put it in the extendable Cummins that we put a 4BT in a while ago, and that's the extended cab F-150 that my cousin owns. And then the 8.8 came out of it, and I traded that for this with one of you fellow YouTubers, or YouTuber. There's all our bolts, my snap ring pliers right here. I clean the nasty goo off this thing. So yeah, this just has a big ass bearing in there. I think there's no play in that bearing at all, so I'm not gonna bother replacing the bearings. I think those are fine. Oh, okay. I see how. I see what's up. Take a look at it. So I got some snap ring doodads on here that are a little bit thicker. Okay. Yeah, so it's a slip fit. So we got our, it's a thick snap ring too. So flathead screwdriver. Ow. Ah. 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 funny how you barely hit something and you're like, no, I'm injured. So it has little spots here and there, like right there for prying. And there she comes. It's got a few spots for prying. And try not to pry against the gasket, any gasketing surfaces. Being very, very careful. Okay, and then there, right here on the end, there's actually a dowel pin here. Kind of gotta go against what I just told you not to do. Be careful, don't pry on it too hard. This is aluminum we're talking about. This is why I wanted an MP205, plus it'd be gear driven. But the upside of this is that it was a trade because someone else was kind enough to help me out, and it's a hell of a lot lighter. It's a lot less weight on the transmission mount. So, and this has got a bigger yoke on it anyways, and you know what, we'll just go with this, and I know I can at least get all the shifter parts for this all day long. Yeah, totally should be able to pop that out, no problem. That is light. That looks pretty good in here. So the fluid pump, oh, I see where the fluid pump is. Let me get that piece of dirt out of there. And I got a spring here. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I like this is enjoyable for me. I like this. Yeah. So let's see. How can I do this without damaging the vent on this thing? I could probably take this thing apart with confidence, just very slowly and just methodically, and take plenty of pictures, because I want to replace. Oh, okay. Got a magnet here. So they sell like a little kit. So I think it should be an oil pump and filter kit, which it's got some dirt in it. Magnet has some stuff on it, but nothing, no big chunks. If anything, probably just stuff from someone getting it stuck between 4 high and neutral. I know I've done that a couple of times. It looks pretty good. I'd probably give it a quick wipe down, make sure there's no dirt and stuff. Yeah. I'll get you a better view here in a second. So that's I got it in 4 high. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get a flashlight, take a look at everything. This transfer case looks hardly used. What we got here is one so that's neutral. So what it does is right now we're in 2-wheel drive. We're cruising down the highway. Now we went off-road and our wheels are spinning. And we click this up one, and what it does is when you go the first one, all that's doing for high, it's just connecting this to this shaft. So this guy slides forward, is this collar, and connects it to that end on the gear. And then when you move, it locks all the way. And look at that, we have 4-wheel drive. Uh-oh. Okay, I can't mess with it too much because without this being supported, all this wants to shift around. But anyways, if you push this all the way back, it'll leave this engaged, but it will take this shift fork and it will engage that planetary set there, reducing the, giving it a gear reduction, and that gives you your 4 low. You can also leave your hubs disconnected, and then you'd have 2 low. But yeah, so I gotta stop messing with this before I break it. You kind of want to look at. I think I know how we can get this chain off. You're just undoing that yoke there. It pops off, and then this will slide out, and then yeah, then you can get the chain off. And right now it's got plenty of slack, so it'll come right off when this pops out. So yeah, not much else I can do right now, other than to put it back together and make sure it still works and I didn't mess it up. And then later in the project, we'll come back. We'll put a new chain, a new you know, the oil. I think maybe we can get away with the oil pump. We'll just put a new guy in it, a new filter and tube. Yeah, I don't want to take it apart too much because then, yeah, bad things might happen. Alright, well, I think that's good enough for this video. Catch you guys later. Okay, I was messing around with this a little too much and it popped this pin out and all this just went honk and it was like not shifting right. Now I put the pin back in there and that's good. So it's just a little pin it's pinched between 2 case halves. There's no spring-loaded funness, so we're good there. This is super simple. I you know, be willing to bet I could probably rebuild this thing no problem myself. Really just popping out the bearings, and I mean all the planetary stuff looks fantastic. It doesn't look like it needs to be replaced or anything, so I think we're good there. It looks like all that is held in with one gigantic snap ring. I mean, holy cow. I think another thing to look out for is wear in here. I want to see if they have like a kit where a little notch, little piece goes in there and keeps that from wearing against the case. I think that's what we got here a little bit. So I'll look into that. Make sure we kind of foolproof this transfer case. So yeah, okay, gotta go.